What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a very special, I don't even know what we're calling it. Video podcast? Mastercast? Yeah. Masterclass. I don't know.
Sorry.
Podcast, video cast. I don't know. We're doing it obviously in a podcast style because what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload what you're watching now is kind of a shortened version. I am also going to release an extended cut. I haven't decided whether it's going to be audio only or video and audio. I haven't decided yet. But what we're discussing here is something very cool, and we wanted to make it more of a conversation than just a standard video that we've done in the past. So we wanted to discuss all things about it and give you guys the full picture of what we've done here. So that's why we're kind of doing it in this kind of different fashion. I am joined here today by my co-host for this video, Mr. Cody Wade Branson, owner, head brewer of Flagship Pomade Company. What I'm doing here, if you know, hopefully you know by now, but if you hadn't heard yet, I've been here this week, past couple of days, shooting behind the brew with you.
Yes, sir.
It's been a very interesting past couple of days, long days.
This is a long day too.
This one's a long day too, yeah. My gosh. Yesterday was 12 hours.
Yeah, today's not going to be that bad, but
it's about 8 probably by the time we're done, which is not bad, but we've done 12 yesterday and we did at least 8 or 9 the day before. So it's been a long week, but it's been a lot of fun. We're shooting, let's see, how many total, this makes 6, right?
At
total
least, yeah.
Videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done 3 Flagship and we're doing 2 Don Juan.
Correct. And then we're going to have a couple other small ones.
Yeah, because you do the Don Juan stuff, and then we have this one, which, should we just let him in on the little secret? So we've done a collab.
Yeah.
We've got a collab product. We talked about it. I'm coming down to shoot. Why not make a collab?
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. One little thing also that they probably don't know is that you and I have been working together with Don Juan.
Right.
Me more so in the consultant role, you in the manufacturer role, them as the brand. Basically, they came to, what is it, me first or you first with the idea for some new stuff?
So for the new stuff, originally, of course, the two that came through you, and then this, what they want to just get together and see if we can create a line.
Right, yeah, because originally they came to me asking for a manufacturer, and I directed them to you, but I can't remember how it came about, but somehow they came to us with some ideas for some new stuff, and then I just started brainstorming them with you, kind of. And one of the things, we can't really talk about every little thing yet that we've been doing for them, all in due time, but one of the things we were messing around with was a texture spray.
Correct.
Which I'm of the opinion that 2020 is going to be the year of the spray. I think that, everybody's coming out with a spray. There's sprays everywhere now, and I really think that those are going to be the hit product of this year. But sprays are not as easy to make as we were hoping, and so you and I have been really trying to figure out some sprays for the past couple months. And one day I remember we were on FaceTime. We were looking at this newest rendition of a spray, and I said to you, what if we just took the spray and we made it into a serum, like thickened it all the way up?
Right, yeah.
And turned it into this weird, funky serum. And I kind of said it thinking to myself, like, that can't happen. That probably won't work. And then, of course, soon after, you send me another video like, look what I got.
Yep.
Look what I made.
Oh,
Yeah, you just took my idea and willed it into existence, which is how things work around here at Flagship. So that's awesome. And but that really doesn't tell them anything about the product.
Right.
That's a cool little backstory. But what is it? What does it do? That's what we're going to talk about here today. Right. So you guys already know the tiny little history of it. Once we got that down, once you did that, we then were like, oh, we have this awesome thing. What can we do with it now?
Right.
What can we really turn this into? And since the major inspiration of it was a texture spray,
right,
which is a pre-styler, we decided to make this one a pre-styler.
Correct.
So that's where we went with it. We also took a lot of design inspiration. We designed. It was overly designed, right? So we took that. We took the pre-styling aspect, and we came up with Cornerstone.
Correct. Yep.
Cornerstone. That's what we're calling it. Cornerstone. I'm still unsure what to call it specifically. Like a serum?
A serum is a good idea. Technically, I would almost call it a gel pre-styler, but that doesn't necessarily give true name to what it should be.
Right, and that's something that I knew people were going to kind of struggle with.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, even when I look at it, you see the consistency, you feel it. It feels like a gel. It looks like a gel, but it does not. It's not a gel.
No, it does not perform like a gel would be expected to. That's the better way, I guess, to put it. Because you get like a gel pomade, things like that. It has this characteristics always. So that's what's cool about this one. Even though it has that look, if it quacks like a duck, right? This one does not.
Yeah,
it's a dog.
Yeah, it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but it's in fact a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It's yeah, that's a good way of describing it because it really does. When you see it, it really looks and feels like a gel.
Right.
It's got a high water content, and again, we were taking it from a spray into a more solidified form, so that basically taking all that water and gelifying it.
Right.
That's really in essence what you did, but it does not act like a gel as we know it. I mean, you throw it in your hair, you blow dry it, and it instead acts very natural. It acts very lightweight.
Yep.
It adds a lot of hold, which is why we named it Cornerstone, because a cornerstone is the foundation of a building.
Right.
So yeah.
Even once you guys get to see the label and everything, that you'll see that was the entire inspiration for the entire thing. So,
label, yeah, I'm gonna show all of that here in the video for those of you watching. I'll describe it for you guys listening here towards the end, but we are going to show the full finished product in this video. We're actually also going to be giving away one, right?
Yep.
Giving away one.
We're doing that with
everyone. Let's get into the ingredients, because that's the real essence of the thing here. Let's start with water, because that's the only one that I personally know how to describe, because the rest of it was all your madness here.
It's wet.
It's wet. Water. It's what you drink.
Yeah. Look it up in the dictionary. That's what it says.
Yeah, water. So there is a ton of water, like we said. It's coming from a spray to a liquid form. Coming from a spray to a solid form. So it's a lot of water, and that's good because
the water evaporates.
Yeah, water evaporates.
Once again, with the pre-styler notion, you want something that whenever you blow dry it, it leaves the stuff that's going to allow your hair to flow the way it needs to. So high water, high evaporation.
Right.
Left with the good stuff.
Yeah, it kind of evaporates out of your hair, leaving all the additives to fix it in place.
Correct. Which
is cool because I actually got to use it for the first time this week. I haven't yet used it since we made it. So I tried it this week. You filmed up an actual demo, and we had a buddy of yours actually come out for a demo, which we'll talk about in a minute, which was really great.
Right.
His use out of it really surprised me. But before we go through the rest of the ingredients, one thing too, we didn't use beeswax in it at all.
Right.
No Candelilla wax. For those of you that are familiar with my Dauntless line, I use both of those wax. Microcrystalline is my third wax. We didn't use that.
Right.
But we were still able to achieve really great levels of hold.
Right.
What hold strength would you put it as?
Well, I have different hair type, which you guys will get to see. It's thinning and all that fun stuff too. But I would say that it's in that firm range. It's not overbearing to where it's not going to have some flow to it, but it's going to definitely be present. You'll be able to tell that you put something in it to give you a good foundation.
Right, and it's interesting. It's good you mentioned your thin hair type. I have a thicker hair type, so it's a firm for you and your hair type. I think with one pump, it's on the firmer end of medium for me. But if I use any more than that, then we're into the realm of firm, which we'll talk about hair types here in a little bit. But we have water. There's a lot of water in there. Yeah. The next one is the Ceterith.
Yeah, so we use Ceterith 20. That stuff is primarily, it does provide some level of hold. Whenever you see the video here in a little while, it's going to be really awesome to see how that actually interacts with the water. But that is also a gelling agent, so it holds everything together. It's a great emulsifier, and makes it to where we have that really nice consistency. Past that, the thing that really gives the majority of the hold is the PVP that's in it,
which is it's not an ingredient that's going to hurt your hair.
Correct.
It's a really easy ingredient to describe. It's sticky.
It's a vinyl, essentially.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah, and it just provides a good level of hold that doesn't really come from any waxes, clays, things like that.
Yeah, so it's a way to get the hold without using a wax, because we couldn't really fit waxes in here and still maintain that consistency that we wanted.
Right. And then underneath that, we have PEG 40, which hydrogenated castor oil that is found in a lot of different hair products. The idea for that is, once again, to just make it smooth. Also helps with soilability, so you'll be able to rinse it out of your hair.
Right. I use it in the Dauntless lineup for that very purpose.
Same with Streamlines for us. And so past that, we have a couple little proprietary blends that we use for ingredients, and those have multiple things in them, but main is they, once again, help keep everything together. We have VP copolymer, which is another thing that's used in a lot of pre-stylers, gel types, to provide some hold and volume. Really give a foundation, actually. That's kind of the best way to put it.
It's the whole point of the product.
Yeah, and then we do have a very, very small amount of like grapeseed oil in there for the fact that, you know, it actually doesn't, you don't notice it, but it is something that we wanted to make sure we put something in there that was slightly conditioning, that was very lightweight at the same time.
Yeah, because when you're working with the PVP and the VPVA copolymer, you do run the risk of it drying out your hair. So you do need something in there that's going to nourish or balance it a little bit. So that grapeseed is a really lightweight oil. So it's going to nourish the hair, and it's not going to add any shine or greasiness.
Correct.
So that
It'll be absorbed.
I love grapeseed oil.
Yep,
that's why we use that stuff.
Definitely.
So for the fragrance, that is something that's kind of secret to Flagship. I know, obviously, we both know what it is. We just don't want to put it out there specifically what's in it. It's a cologne scent though, and it's based on actually one of the scents that you offer now, but it's been tweaked.
Yeah,
right?
we've added some little pieces from another couple that we really, really liked, and it has its own little life to it. I like how it was able to blend. They're very complementary of each other. Very
fresh cologne.
Yeah, very much.
It actually reminds me. The first thing I thought of, like when you showed it to me this week, I was like, this smells like you're in a salon.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's very fresh, very, I don't want to say professional, but not, it has that type of, it's not a bunch of essential oils thrown together and put into something.
It's definitely not typical for Flagship.
Right.
That's what I thought of too. Is it's definitely not typical of your products, which are usually more herbal or I want to go with it like natural flowers.
That whole essential oil experience.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's very light, very fresh, very clean. I wanted it to be a little lighter too, because the point of this product is to mix it with something else. So you don't want it to be overbearing, but you do want it to be present in case you wear it by itself.
Right. And it's just enough, and it's one of those that if you put something on top of it, will override it. The product that you're putting on top of it, but wearing it by itself, it still has some linger, which is great.
Right. Yeah. So if you're using it, because that's what we should get into next. Actually, is the actual use and the people it's going to serve. Because I've been putting a lot of thought into this, and I think it's probably about the first time that I've ever done this myself. Because when I've made products, even the Dauntless lineup, I didn't make it for one specific hair type. My testers were of all hair types.
Right.
I wanted to serve everybody. Right. I get the vibe though off Cornerstone that it's really going to benefit thin or fine-haired folks, even more so than thick-haired folks. Like I obviously wouldn't put something out as Modern Man TV if it didn't work for thick-haired folks, because I have thick hair.
Right.
So it has to work. Right.
Right.
But just using it, I feel like this is going to be just a home run with people with your hair type and thin and fine hair.
Yeah, because even whenever you get to see the video, just having that in there by itself, it really just put to light. And then for whenever we actually did some of the other videos, threw some of our void on top of it and added, it really just did not want to move.
Right. Yeah. I remember that when we filmed your demo, you did the Cornerstone pre-styler, and then you threw the void on top. Yeah. That just showed how versatile it is as a combo. Or you can pair it with anything, you know, because usually when I pre-style, I do like-minded things. You know, if I pre-style with a clay, I'm going to post-style with a clay, or a matte product, something. And I'm going to post-style with something that's like it.
Right.
You know, pre-style with a wax, you post-style with a wax. You know what I'm saying? You don't go with shine. This is something I talked about in my recent post-styling video. With this one though, you can go any avenue you want.
You really can. Yeah.
You can go for texture. You can go for not.
Right. And that's one thing I did notice. So whenever you're using something that's more of a texturizing product, a matte paste, a clay, you're going to really accentuate the characteristics that are going to come from that. So it's going to add good texture. It's going to add some good foundation on top of that. But I found that even when I use like with pomade, water-based, things like that, that actually kind of just increased the hold and just really made them honestly work a little bit better. I don't know what it is about reactivating it even after the pre-style, but that really provided a lot more to the actual final product.
Right, and then the other demo we did, which was super special for me. I thought it was really, really a great choice on your part to invite him over. It was one of your friends, and he's got curly hair.
Right, so he was actually my first employee. Had him just because whenever his hair's wet, it's super curly, super thick hair. But as you see in the video,
well, I filmed it. So this guy comes in with the curly hair, and I'm thinking, like, how is this?
Seagulls, man.
How is it going to work? I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to film it. We'll see what happens. And at the end of it, for people watching at home, as I'm talking right now, I'm showing the demo for those of you that are listening. They're watching this actual demo, and he starts with the curly hair. He puts it into damp air. He blow dries. All he uses is that round brush.
Right.
There's no flat iron, no anything like that. No additional heat other than the blow dryer, and it totally straightens it out.
Right.
Totally straightens it back out, and it holds it in place.
Oh yeah, and he had volume, everything. He was able to really tweak it to what he wanted it to do.
Right. That's really awesome, and he seemed really happy with it too.
Right.
He talked a little bit about how he struggles
Right.
with his hair and finding stuff that holds it because it'll kink up and curl.
Right.
So I thought that was really awesome, and it really shows me though that there's going to be a lot of people that it does serve. So when I say that it's going to benefit people with thinner, fine hair, that doesn't mean it's only going to benefit them, because obviously we've got curly hair that it works for, thick hair. I really think that through the channel, I see a lot of people commenting about, I have thin hair, I have fine hair, I have straight hair, I can't get this, I can't get volume.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, it's hard, and that's why I think that this is really going to help them.
Right.
People with thick hair, we struggle with having stuff that's strong enough.
Right.
I think that's also gonna be there too, because like I said, about 1 pump, firmer end of medium for me.
Right.
2 pumps, firm for sure.
And that's the thing. Like for me, I think we were talking about it. How whenever I pre-style, I do a little bit differently. He of course did it damp, but I ended up doing it. I do most of mine in dry, to be real honest. And
yeah, that's crazy too. You have like an odd way of pre-styling. I do it damp hair, throw it in there, blow dry, done. You actually start with dry hair.
And I typically do that in general. So I'll jump out of the shower, I'll dry my hair, go get dressed, come back and do my hair.
So it's completely dry.
Yeah, it may be slightly damp, but it's not enough to really affect anything.
Yeah.
So I'll throw in product on that, use the water content in it, so that whenever I do start to actually, blow dry, it just evaporates right out, and you're left with what you got. It just works better for me, especially with my thinner hair. I have long hair too, so I it just is the best way for my style.
Wow.
No wrong way,
And again, as you're talking, I'm going to be showing them at home your demo too, because it's playing right now. For those of you that are listening,
I'm so ugly.
What it did, I'm not going to dwell on that thought.
I'm going to.
What it did was it visibly, I didn't see like a huge change, obviously, because your hair is going to be your hair at the end when it's done, especially because you started dry.
Right.
So visibly it looked pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But you had added volume.
Correct.
Which was not there before.
Right.
Which I'm assuming is hard for you to get.
It is, and also just with my hair being so thin and it being longer, it's very hard for me to finger comb. That's what's really cool with this stuff too, is after I've pre-styled with it, I know it's mainly going to be a holding product, but for me, I'm able to run my fingers through, get some level of texture.
Right.
Even with any matte paste and stuff, I can't just run my fingers through and be like, cool, no, I look bald. It's not fun.
Too much separation.
Yeah, and so that's where this actually almost makes it feel like my hair's a little bit thicker.
So I had some fullness.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I appreciate the most out of it, is if I can hide some of my, until I have to,
And that's also a point of why I said I think it's going to really benefit those people with a thinner, fine hair, because I do think it adds a bit of fullness as well.
Right.
Which is something that I don't particularly need, which people with thick hair don't particularly need, but it's there,
right.
which is kind of why I'm trying to walk a fine line here. I don't want to turn off the thick-haired people, because the hold is going to be beneficial to you. Right. The fact that you can use it like it's a run and gun pre-styler, like when I'm getting ready to go to my internship in the morning and I have 10 minutes to throw something in, blow dry, throw something in, go.
Right.
This will work.
Right.
This will, and it will work really well. throw it in your hair, blow dry, done.
Yeah.
Or throw it in, blow dry, throw something on top of it, out the door.
Right.
For thinner, fine, straight, whatever hair, even, you know, I hear a lot about Asian hair on the channel. You those people, you're gonna get that same thing that I just described, but you're gonna get a little more. You're gonna get a little more of the volume. You're gonna get a little more hold.
Right.
Good helping more, actually, a handful. What else? What else did you feel? I texture. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't think this is a texture product.
Yeah. Like I said,
I just don't feel that way.
That's just because I'm weird. So
you feel like you do look at.
Well, and that's the thing is, maybe we can get a video or a picture tomorrow or something so that we can show that just what I feel is texture.
Yeah.
But once again, the characteristics of this were geared towards providing hold and providing a layer of hold to place anything else on top of. So
right. We didn't really go into it seeking texture.
No, I mean, if we had done that, we would have really hyped up putting some other types of stuff into it to do that. For me, it just does. But I think that's just...
Well, it's easier. I think for your chair type, I think it's easier to get a little bit of texture. For something like me, it's not.
Right.
But my thought, because if I wanted texture in there, I would have just said it from the beginning, like I think we should give it some texture.
Right.
I didn't, because my thought process on it was have it be really good in the hold department. Mm-hmm. We can get our texture from the post styler.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, that was my thought on it. So I think we definitely achieved that. So I'm really happy with the product.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I completely do. And that, going back to the idea of limiteds, let's talk about that real quick.
Right. I totally forgot about that. So collaborations, you've done limiteds in the past.
Done a lot of limiteds.
Right.
In the past.
I've on Modern Man TV. I've done my first two collaborations were limiteds.
Right.
And what I really learned, especially with Lil Monster and Clown Prince, is how many people really liked those and asked for it to come back. You know, and in this case, I went to Pom King and actually asked them if we could do it again, and they declined.
Right.
So and I saw, you know, I mean, there wasn't anybody like crying over it, you know, but I saw some people commenting, you know, and even comment on videos and everything Pomade, things like that. They're like, you know, if it works so well for me, why can't I do it again? And it made sense to me on a business front too. Like if you're willing to be a repeat customer, why not?
Right.
So I've, as a creator, I've kind of evolved from limiteds, I think.
Well, and you look at a lot of the brands, that is the idea going forward, that you provide something that's going to be sustainable.
Right.
Even with what we do with the Four Seasons, for example, that's something that it's a limited in the sense that we're
seasonal.
Only going to provide it for a certain amount of time.
But it's going to come back next year.
It always comes back. And the other thing is our stockists, for example, carry those year round. It's not
right.
So
you don't close it off to the wholesalers.
No. So it's one of those where it makes sense to build some anticipation. You know, who doesn't want to look forward to getting something? But that's the same thing with this. This is one of those products where I think that us working together collaboratively to really bring something that has an initial excitement to it, and then continue it after the fact, let everybody get an idea.
Right. And I think for me, as a co-collaborator, it puts a little more, it's exciting because it puts a little more pressure on me. Yeah. Because this product better be good.
And it's better be consistent.
If it's going to stick around, right. It better be good. And that's what I liked about it. It's challenging almost because I'm not going to say like it was easy to make a limited because it was going to go away. I went into every limited that I've ever done as if it was going to stick around. And that was one of the first things you and I discussed was like, yeah, let's do a collaboration, but I don't want it to be a limited.
Right.
If that's okay with you, you of course were down.
Yeah. No.
Because if we're going to make something for somebody, we want to give it to them.
Right. And that's the other thing is it seems like it's going to be one of those that will fit a really important niche for certain people.
Right.
And so I think that there's no reason to take away something from somebody.
That brings us to the question. And I've been sitting here thinking about questions that people might have because that's what I do when I create videos now and I do reviews, like what questions people might have. The first one, the biggest one, what's the difference between this and Blackwater?
Okay.
I can already see it. Compare this to Blackwater. We've already answered the biggest one, no texture.
Right. It's not geared towards that.
Yeah,
it's more power.
Right. Hold wise, I'm personally going to say Blackwater has more hold.
I think that it's
stickier.
Yes. But that's also too where I find that when I use like 2 pumps of Cornerstone, that it actually provides me substantially more hold than Blackwater does for me. I usually only use one pump, but comparatively,
and that's the difference in hair types, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Everything. And that's what's so great about it, though, is it is so different for people with different hair types. But those are the main differences as I see them.
Yeah,
between Blackwater and Cornerstone.
Yeah, and we're also using things for the hold that are not really necessarily what were used in Blackwater.
Yeah, different ingredients, of course, different scent, different package.
Definitely.
Which the package is one of the coolest parts for me personally to see, because when we're going from a spray that we've talked about, we wanted to make it like a serum. Okay, so it's a pump, but it's a pump, but it's not the same pump as Blackwater.
So we make stuff for a local company here, and we share some of the same supplies, and they had gotten into getting these airless pumps, which fantastic. Honestly, I even looked at them for trying to get for Blackwater, but size just doesn't work out. Color doesn't work out. I'm not going to buy 30,000 bottles.
Yeah.
At least not at this point. Please keep buying them. Maybe I will.
Yeah,
but these are nice white, very professional, very nice looking bottles. And the great thing about them, you'll never have to worry about them getting stuck, anything like that, because as you pump, it pulls the tab from the bottom and pushes it towards the top. It creates its own suction.
Right.
So it is its own pump, and so
there's no like little straw on the inside to get clogged or anything like that, because that honestly, that is the biggest gripe that we see with Blackwater, is because it gets clogged sometimes, or in the little actual nozzle sometimes it can get clogged. But this one doesn't utilize any type of straw. It uses airless suction.
Correct.
It is a smaller bottle than Blackwater. It's 2 ounces.
This is a 2 ounce.
2 ounces.
But at the same time, that gets us to the next point. We're gonna have consummate pricing.
Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper.
Correct.
It's gonna be cheaper than Blackwater.
Well, let's just say Blackwater's 22 US. This is gonna be 15 US.
15.
Yeah, and so the good thing with that too is that you're gonna fit your travel size all in of itself, and
it does come with a cap too, so you can cap it, throw it in your travel kit. You could throw it in your backpack. You could set it on your shelf. I mean, it's got a cap. It's not too small.
Right.
It's a nice size.
And it's enough that it would last you a good
that was gonna be my next thing.
Too.
Yeah. So like for example, I use about one pump, so you just push it, and it's really easy to push down.
Yeah.
Push it down, get your one pump, you use it, you're done. That should last you at least a month, maybe longer.
Right.
If you're doing it every day. I mean, if you're not doing it every day, it's gonna last you
longer than that.
Longer than that.
And that was what I was gonna say is one of the girls that works here, she has one of her kids is in soccer, and he's been using Cornerstone too, actually, and he'll just take it with him to school, throw some in. He's got very curly, unruly hair, and the thing that he liked about it is, even though he's out there running around and all that, he finds that even after the fact, he's still able to restyle after the fact without any issues.
Yeah, so it's still pliable.
Yeah, and so having that travel aspect of being able to take it with him, wherever he's at, and then even if he needs to just throw a little bit extra after he's done, it's been really good.
Yeah, and the bottle, I think it is smaller, but I don't think it really impacts a whole lot the fact that it is smaller. It actually probably has more benefits to it than it does.
Right.
Because we are lowering the price.
Right.
You're not paying premium pricing and getting half the product.
Right.
We are making it 15, like you said. As far as manufacturing goes, I am going to put it on my site. The dauntlessgrooming.com will carry the Cornerstone. I will not be making it though.
Right.
So when you do buy from me, if you do buy from me, from the dauntlessgrooming.com, all fulfillment will come from you.
Correct. So the way we're going to have it set up is similar to a drop ship. We'll just get the labels, and we'll be all shipping from the central location.
But just keep that in mind. If you do buy from dauntlessgrooming.com, I won't be making it myself, and so there will be a little bit of a delay in the shipping. Not much though, because I'll just be physically transferring it to you for fulfillment instead of fulfilling it myself.
And we've gotten to where we literally ship within a day or two at the max.
Right. So it'll be just as simple as usually I ship the same day myself too when people order from my shop. So it'll basically just go right to you, and you'll ship it right out, and it should be pretty seamless.
Yep. Well, we do that with several other companies, and it works really well.
Yeah, so that's awesome. The label design, I think, is really cool too. That's kind of like the last piece. So we got our product, we got our bottle. The label design, I really liked how it came out. It's a really nice blue. It's a blueprint. Right. Obviously, there's a blueprint in the back.
Yep. That was you were able to find that really awesome background, and then we were able to build on top of it. This was a little bit more of a fun experiment for me, getting to play around with it. because I actually got to help design it a little bit.
And Jacob helped.
Yeah, definitely helped because
Star 7 Creative. Thank you very much, Jake.
Super novice when it comes to all that. That man is a lifesaver.
Right.
But anyways, just getting everything put together, making it look like a good old blueprint. I used to be in drafting, so for me it was real nostalgic getting to mess around with that again.
We're also giving away one for free.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme.
The way I do giveaways, unless I'm doing like the ultra professional ones with the website, where you gotta do all the steps and things like that, this is just a pretty laid back giveaway.
Yeah.
I have three rules, 3 things that I have people do when I do these on channel giveaways. Super easy. You gotta like this video, you gotta be a subscriber to the channel, and you got to comment where you're watching from.
Right.
That just gives you, because people use fake accounts and they comment, they don't listen, or they just, it's hard. It helps me weed out the real people that have watched the video if I have you comment a specific question.
Right.
That's why I do that. And then we're gonna choose one at random.
Yep. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Just choose one at random. We'll toss it in the mail and you'll get it for free. So,
not too shabby.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for having me out.
Of course, man.
Coming on the channel. You're going to do do people really do this? That's what I want to know. It's like we've been together all day, but we're shaking hands like we just saw each other now. It's like the fakest thing in the world to me when people do that.
We can always knuckles.
Yeah, I mean,
be gentle.
That's worse. I don't even know why we're doing that. It's worse. It's not like we just didn't spend 9-10 hours together all day today and 12 yesterday. And 8 the day before, and then we're still not done. By the way, we were supposed to end today. We were supposed to wrap today, but we're not. We're not.
I know how to screw things up.
No, you didn't screw things up. It's the shea butter.
Oh, there's that too.
Amazon. Yeah. Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah.
1 day shipping is a lie.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, so that got pushed off till tomorrow. UPS being slow.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's just
Murphy's Law.
That's why you always add a couple days to your trips.
I'm glad you did.
Contingencies.
Then I get to see your face too, so that doesn't hurt either.
That doesn't hurt either. All right, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you liked this video, make sure you tap that like button for me. Drop me a comment there so you can enter the giveaway. Let me know what you thought about these. Maybe we'll put together some more podcast style videos. I enjoyed doing this. I thought this was a lot of fun.
No, I think so too.
Now that we got things actually working.
Yeah, that was fun too.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll upload this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell icon for notifications if you don't have that on already. Make sure you also follow my friend here on Instagram.
Yep.
What's your handle there?
On Instagram, it's just Flagship Pomade. Of course, we have our Facebook. We will be getting a YouTube set up just so we can kind of get a little bit more of you guys involved with what we do here at the shop. So hopefully get to start having a little bit more interaction with you guys, and we're finally getting stuff where we want them to be.
Yeah, and make sure you check out their shop. They got the Limitless Merc too, which is a bunch of other brands, not just Flagship. You got my brand on there, Dauntless, and then you have a bunch of others awesome stuff.
Yeah, we probably have about 15 different brands that we carry. If you're in the local area or ever in Houston, of course, hit us up. We did finally add a phone number to the website, so if you're able to either shoot us a text, give us a call through that, and we're able to possibly set up a meeting.
Thank you once again for checking this out, and I really hope you guys enjoy Cornerstone. It's a fun product. It's a really awesome product. It's one that I think came together so naturally that I think it just can't. It has to be great. Right. It just came together so naturally. It's like the universe wanted this to happen.
It's one of those two batchers.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, let's do that. It's seriously, it was like, hey, let's do this. Oh, I just did this.
Well,
that's how it happened.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us here today. Take it easy. We'll see you next time. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, you'll see him.
I'll see you next time.